Hello, I hope you are keeping well. Thank you so much for stopping by. I today will be talking about properties that you can invest in with as little as 1.7 million shillings. And that's not land, it's actually an apartment somewhere in this beautiful city of ours. So you have no excuse basically in terms of, how should you invest in real estate? What opportunities are there? There's so many opportunities, and the video today is about houses or apartments that you can invest in, or property, real estate that you can invest in with around 5 million shillings and below. So I might touch on some that are slightly higher than 5, but they are absolutely worth it. And I say this because I only recently started investing in real estate. And one of the things that I've always said, there's a lot of property in the country, but a lot of it is quite expensive, or maybe the ones that we get to see are really expensive. And this video will not be about mortgages. In fact, anything but a mortgage. Using what you have around you, the money that you can get around you, to begin to put that in. I mean, some of the investment, the payment plans, you pay something like 27,000 shillings a month, and then you put down at least a 10% down payment of that property. So it is possible, and I'll tell you how. I'd like to thank Skillshare so much for sponsoring this video. And if you haven't been to Skillshare, oh my god, you must go check. And it doesn't matter what you're interested in. Anything, including how to plant flowers indoors, centering yourself and just finding that inner person with all that's going on around the world. How do you find yourself? How to pivot your creative career is also one of the other courses that I really like. Because I'm, just getting into content, and there's so much happening within the content space. So I'm constantly asking myself, how do I make that content better? One of the ones that I also like is, just because we are creating, a lot of us are now beginning to create content, whether it's on Instagram or TikTok or on YouTube. I mean, how to script, how to shoot, and how to edit a YouTube video. So there's so much. I'll share a link down below, so then you can have a look at the Skillshare platform, and just let's keep going. All right, so let's go back to the topic of today. And every time I share a YouTube video on my Dream Homes Kenya, which I hope you have seen, one of the questions or one of the statements I usually get is, I would love to invest in property, but it is so expensive. And maybe because the properties that we see are companies that, have good marketing budgets, so we're only able to see some of the ones that are a lot bigger. But I've recently discovered, and as I mentioned earlier, I just recently started my real estate investment journey in around 2016, 2015, thereout. And I started off with an acre down in Kikope, which was around 499,000 then, and which I paid, slowly. Later on, I did get another property in Kiserian. I've now put, got 2 small apartments that I'm also, paying pole. And both of these were, one was 5.4 and the other one was 2.5. And I mean, I believe in starting small, and because there's also many other competing interests when it comes to my finances, I have had to prioritize and to say, I know that by the time I'm getting to 50, I want my investment portfolio, specifically in property, to be X amount, and it's a huge amount. So I've got many years to go to do that. But if I'm able to put aside some money to buy even the ones that are like what I've just told you, 1.7, by the time I'm doing a 1.7 every year, or 1.2 of 2 1.7s every year, by the time I get there, then I will have done more. And the other thing is, once you start small, you can always sell to buy something bigger. So I want you to just really pay attention. I'll also share the links to the properties that I have discovered, so that you can also have a look, and let's begin to make our money work for us. So the first one is Wilma Towers, and Wilma Towers is by VAAL. What VAAL Real Estate is actually one of the most visible in recent days. I'm sure you've seen the billboards, and you know, they've put up quite a number of properties across Nairobi. And I put in Wilma because they're such a solid company. They are serious about what they do. They are super professional. Like, I really, really love working, and I love the relationship that I've had with them. So my very first investment in a small apartment was with Wilma Towers, and it was 5.4 million shillings at the time. I put down a very small deposit. I think it was 100,000 just to book, and then I, you know, paid a couple of, you know, broke that down to a couple of months to make sure I paid my, you know, my deposit. And guess what? By the time I got it, they were going for 5.4. Currently, they're going for 6.6, and which is still not bad, because Wilma is in Kilimani. It's a very secure property investment company that, as I've mentioned before, they have a solid track record, and they have built some really beautiful homes with quality, super quality furnishings. So what they have available now is, Wilma is still available. I know they have some apartments, but it's maybe going to be slightly higher than 5. But do have a look. I'll share the link, and that's a company that you need to pay attention to. COVO Residences is one I've seen as well. It's at the heart of Lavington. That's between Gitanga and Othaya Road, and they have 1.2 bedroom apartments, and the apartments are around 4 million, you know, starting at I think 4 million shillings, and they have a 4-year payment plan with 0 interest. COVO is, they're available online, so please have a look and see what can you get. I mean, these are things you can turn into an Airbnb. You don't have to live in it, because it's a small apartment, it's a 1-bedroom or a, you know, a studio apartment. But if it is in the right location, trust me, then you'll make money from it. Another company that I really like is Savo, because they really focus on you know, getting quality, affordable housing as investment properties. So if you're looking specifically for investment, Savo is one of the companies that you should look at. SKYWALK was amazing, and what I love about Savo is that every week you actually get an update of, you know, of how the properties are doing. So SKYWALK is on 1 Year Road. From them, I got a studio apartment, which cost 2.5 million shillings, and then it's, you know, payment pole, and Savo also have a really solid track record. I'll leave the link down below so you can also have a look at it. And they have just started Savo Sunsets. Savo Sunsets is even more interesting, especially if you're just starting out in investing in real estate. So this will be from 1.7 million shillings. Imagine that, 1.7 million. So which means if you're putting down 10%, I don't know well though about their deposit, it would be about 170,000 shillings, and thereafter you do a monthly payment plan for a certain period of time. So please look at Savo Sunsets and see what they have. So I recently went down to Tilisi. You've probably heard of Tilisi. They are just off Limuru Road. Limuru on your way to Nakuru, Nairobi Naivasha Highway. Let me tell you, it is amazing property, and it's everything. It's got an industrial place, it's got offices, it's got families. It's just one of the spaces. It'll have a school, it'll have a hospital, and they have Maisha developments. They have Maisha Mapya and Maisha Macau. They've also got some billboards around, and they have, all these properties are from about 4 million shillings for an apartment, slightly bigger than the ones I've mentioned before because it's slightly out of town, but it is an amazing mixed developed property, the entire Tilisi. So do have a look at Maisha Mpya and Maisha Macau, because you can just put that in, not only just for yourself, because you don't have to move, but there'll be so many people working around the Tilisi community, and they will definitely need a place to stay. And the quality, from what I've seen, because I've taken a drive there a couple of months ago maybe, really nice. So Evergreen Valley is another one. That's Evergreen is in Utawala. You know, great family environment and value for money as well. They've got 3 different house types to choose from. There's a 2-bedroom apartment. About now, I think there's actually a sale, so it's about 3.9. And then there's a 3-bedroom which was 6.5 and is currently going for 4.95. And you know what I always say is, when you see a property, see who's selling it. So Evergreen is being sold by Housing Finance, and Housing Finance, as you know, has a solid track record. It is it has developed some really amazing properties as well, and they're not crazy expensive. So have a look at Evergreen Valley on the Housing Finance website, which I'll also share. So Assaya on Pipeline Road is another one, and this is a 2-acre parcel of serviced farmland in a gated community. It's about 24 kilometers from Kiserian town. As I mentioned, it's on Pipeline Road. Assaya has 80 acres, and of course you have the views of the Ngong Hills. And so Assaya is a farmland. So you basically buy the property and then you decide, you know, what to do with it. At some point there'll be boreholes, and there'll be piped water at the entrance of every individual farm. So depending on what it is that you want to plant, if you're looking for a place to do it, Assaya is actually being sold by Has Consult. And that's another thing that I say, you know, you need to put your money with a property company that has a solid track record. And Has Consult, you know, as we all know, has a really good track record. Last one, KOMAROCK Heights. KOMAROCK Heights has just over 1,000 beautifully designed apartments within KOMAROCK Estate. The project is being implemented in 3 phases, and starting price is 5.6 million shillings. So good people, you have no excuse. Start looking around at what you can get. Start investing in real estate, because there's so much that is available, and the younger you are, the better. And what I said earlier, preferably do not take a mortgage if you can, and if you have a good interest rate, depending on where you work, maybe in a bank or central bank or one of those places that has a good interest rate. But if you're like you and me, and we just get the regular loan from the bank, I would rather that you get it from your SACCO and get it from, you know, start saving with your SACCO so you're able to put down a deposit. But start now and just be thinking forward. If you want to start today, you can actually put some money down by December, which is like 6 months away, I think, and put your deposit then, because there'll definitely be something coming at that time. So there you have it, properties under 5 million, or let's say 6 million shillings, with really good payment plans and sometimes even 0 interest rates. So get going, find your property, and thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, hit that notification button, because there'll be something exciting coming on next week. Adios.